we'll turn it over and get some of the formal awards and speeches.
When do we eat?
Right after I'm done with this, Steve. Just hang on 1 second. God, I took some notes here, though.
Take 10 minutes to be done.
So these are some things that probably aren't real accurate, and I'm sure he'll let me know. But I had to go back way far in the memory banks for this. Steve was, speaking of going far back, Steve was born 13 November 1958. He was born. It was a good year. It was a good year. He was born in L.A. And I'm not talking about the place with fast cars and movie stars. I'm talking about the real L.A. Lower Alabama. Steve, we're military brats, so we moved all over the place. Steve was born at Fort Rucker Army Community Hospital. He was a big baby. He was a huge baby.
Hey, I'm still a big baby.
Goes along with that personality. It's that big personality. I mean, he was huge. He still holds the record for the biggest baby ever born at Fort Rucker Army Community Hospital.
At least I hold the record.
He was like, what, were you 42 pounds?
Hey, I had hair then.
Yeah. So I asked my mom to send a picture. And I got a picture of Steve 3 days after he was born. And I'm going to show it to y'all. Okay?
Where's it at? How they gonna see it?
It's back over here. And so what Steve said about hair is right. This is Brother Steve. Scale. That's 42 pounds. Hey. Look how tall he was. It's the only picture we have of Steve with hair. We would have had it framed, but it's too big. And this is the reason why my mom likes me more.
Hey, it's pretty obvious. I should have been a plumber, probably. God dang.
And this is actually got it from my dad. This is his wallet size.
Wow.
Maybe right.
And that's only back in the house. That's bad? You ain't seen what I brought.
A lot of folks don't realize Steve was an altar boy, too.
Oh, boy.
He was an altar boy at St. Mary's Catholic Church down in Fort Alton, Texas. With Father McKenzie. This is where Steve learned how to reach out and touch people. I'm sure he reached out and touched a lot of y'all over 31 years, right?
I don't know if y'all remember when I used to get interviewed at those Earth Fests, they'd say, "What are y'all doing out here?" I said, "We're reaching out and touching little kids." Never will!
So we moved here to the Fort Hood area in 1970. So that Steve has been a part of the community for the last 45 years. That's more years than some of y'all have been on this earth. He's been here 45 years.
Woo! Man,
Steve,
good times!
Steve is a product of the clean independent school system.
What do you think of that?
His first car, when he turned 16, his first car was a 1965 Ford Mustang with the 289 in it with Harley carbs and fresh pipes.
You got it!
It was a bad boy machine.
JC, you would appreciate it.
I know.
Everybody in Clean knew him.
Man, they did.
Steve graduated.
Not always for the car.
Steve graduated from Clean High in 1976. I got to tell you, it was a shock to the family too. But he did. He did. Steve was also, you'll probably see a picture up here, he was, or it was on the invitations, he was a waiter at the Officers Club.
A party waiter. Not a waiter, a party waiter.
That, I think it was in 75, 76 time frame.
74.
He was a waiter until he got caught throwing Cordon Blues into the pool. And after that, I don't think he had a job any longer. It was the first,
yes, go ahead.
It was the first time he had a DPW mad at him. And we all know it wasn't the last.
That's a true story.
So Steve went on and he was accepted at Texas A&M University.
Go figure.
Some whoops. There you go. He was a member of the Corps of Cadets.
Dang.
He was a CT, and CT stood for Corps Turd.
There's a BQ in here somewhere. Where was that BQ at?
Right there. He also he was a part of the Corps of Cadets and was assigned to Company L1, the Lone Star Company. And another first, it was the first company to be disbanded at Corps of Cadets at Texas A&M. For reasons unknown, I don't know. Maybe he can tell us.
Yeah, I probably could, but I won't.
That's another part.
I think I was the fall guy.
Yeah. So I'm kind of going in chronological order. This is something. Do y'all know that Steve and Susie married a year ago? Back last June. After 8 years of dating, they dated 8 years. That Steve and Susie first met or crossed paths back in 1979 in a little town in Spain called Lloret de Mar. Out of all places, a bar called the Texas Saloon.
Yep.
That's when they first crossed paths.
That's right.
30 years later, they crossed paths again, and the rest is history. They got married. Steve graduated from Texas A&M in 1980. Another family surprise. I mean, my dad was shocked, but it was the first time I heard one of the most famous quotes from Steve. And he said, "Hey, Dad, it's better to cheat than repeat." And that's kind of stuck. Steve went off to Houston to work for Brown and Root, and he traveled all over the world, mainly in the Middle East, and he called it pipelining. I won't get into the pipeline stories, but if you ever catch him outside the gates after he's retired, buy him a beer, and he can tell you some stories about pipelining.
Oh boy.
He came to Fort Hood in November of 1984. He was hired on with the DFE at the time, I believe.
They were just switching from DFE
Director
to
of Facility
DEH.
Engineering as a GS9 working in master planning. And his first desk was literally out in a hallway.
Yep.
We're in the old World War II wood facilities. There was no space. His desk was out in the hallway, so go figure. You know, it goes from out in the hallway to what you see here. No work zone. So the rest
Nothing's changed.
The rest is really history. I mean, he has a 31-year career serving this country, soldiers, family members, and civilians. I mean, it's what a great career Steve has, and Steve, you're going to hear a lot of these folks get up and talk about that career.
Do I get to talk?
So that is really the reason. Very end, you do. That's the real reason why we're here. It wasn't the first 26 years. It's really these 31 years that we're here to celebrate with Steve. Send him off in style.
Colin can tell some high school stories.
So with that, I welcome you to Steve's retirement party. We're going to now start to eat the free food. Yeah!